I think I'm okay with that, aren't I? Let me straighten that just a little bit. I think we're good. It's good to be with you all. Thank you so much for joining us for a special edition of Friedman Adventures Live. I'm getting you ready for the Danny Cadota Show, which will be at 6 o'clock. Yes, you heard me right. It's the Danny Cadota Show at 6 o'clock tonight. Sam De La Torre. Tonight is usually Tackle Box Confessions, but Sam is off screwing around at Cedros Island in beautiful Baja California. By now, he's landed in Cedros, and I'm sure he's having a really great time. I talked to him as he was on his way down. He was at the Tijuana International Airport, and it just seemed like he was all set. And man, that guy works so hard. He totally deserves a little bit of a break. So Sam De La Torre will be back next Tuesday night with Tackle Box Confessions. And man, he's going to have all kinds of Cedros information as well as address all your questions. I am here also because I'm telling you, fishing, the light switch is on. Here we go. It's rocking and rolling. Maybe on the morning briefing this morning, you heard a little bit about that. It is really starting to fire off right now. It is looking so good. And I'm loving exactly everything that we're seeing. I'll give you a few scores here. I'll talk a little bit about what I talked about on the morning briefing. And of course, I'm going to mention our 5-day trip on the Independence. We leave October the 20th, and we'd love you to be a part of it. The boat, the food, the fishing. I'll be there shooting a video. It's going to be great. October the 20th, we take off from Point Loma Sport Fishing in San Diego. 5 glorious days on the Independence, and you can book or get more information by going to independencesportfishing.com. Highly recommend you do that right now. All right, Cue Ball, he's here with us. Good to see you, my friend. Jeff Yeomans, 540 Slingers Club. Good evening, Phil. Jeff, always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for your service. United States Navy, Cue Ball. Condor has more than 300 mixed fish. You're stealing my thunder, Cue Ball. No, man, hey, bring it on. I love you guys because you always keep me in the loop. And David Rosenthal is saying good afternoon. Good to see you guys. Hope you're going to be here for the Danny Cadota Show. It's going to be a great one. Danny's got, he walked in here, he looked like a guy packing in for a 16-day trip. He's got so many magazines and so many things to share with you on tonight's 6 p.m. show. I know you're going to love it. Don't forget to like and share, says Steve Bermudez. And Steve is right, only 2 likes. I'm going to break into tears. And we've got Jesse, who I met just a moment ago. He's sitting here. He's part of our studio audience. Jesse, what's your wife's name?
Edith.
Edith. From Jesse and from me, he tells me you are absolutely the best. We send you all our very, very best from Friedman Adventures. Hope you're having a great day. Kim Herbert from Missouri saying hello. Man, from Missouri? Are you kidding me? That is so great. It's really great to be with you all. Let me give you a little background, give you a few scores. I'm not going to take up much of your time here because the main focus of today is Danny's show at 6 p.m. right here live. You'll be able to ask Danny questions. You'll be able to participate with him. You can pick his brain. He's been in this game for so very long. He's such an outstanding fisherman. Only one thing Danny's better at than being an outstanding fisherman, that's being an outstanding person, an outstanding American citizen. He's right at the top of the hill on all of that. Cue Ball says Danny's amazing. All right, so last night, Isaac Purcell and his son Ethan were out there on board the Voyager. Pacific Voyager calls them in. They had a tough day on the Dorado, actually, up until this time. Then they get into a twilight bite. Sun is setting, and the Pacific Voyager says, hey, you better get in here and get in here now. These BFT are biting, and it went right into the dark, and they limited out on bluefin tuna, like 20 to 40 pound grade fish. Not all that far from San Diego. This is not out on Cortez and Tanner. This is much closer to home. And so some boats had really good scores on the Dorado yesterday, some missed. But what we are seeing here today suggests to me that the light switch has gone up and on. And you know, Jacob Barclay out there on the Pegasus the other day said, Phil, I haven't seen this much bluefin for 2 weeks. This is about 48 hours ago. Chat. Man, I love you, David. I don't care what anybody says. Albert Ponce says, good evening, Phil. Alberto, siempre es tan bueno. One-day trip, turning in 44 yellowfin tuna, 32 dorado, 7 bluefin tuna. Jesse's going to get all excited listening to this because he's on the Amigo on a day-and-a-half trip. And Jesse, you are looking down the barrel of an awesome trip. And that boat, the Amigo, I have two-day trips coming up in September and October. Dude, you're going to thump them tomorrow. It's really looking good. Tribute out of San Diego. Listen to these scores. Limits of bluefin tuna last night. Hit some kelps today for $1.50 on the Dorado and throws in 36 yellowfin tuna. Man, I'll tell you, Danny is going to have a ball talking about this Schmorgasburg. He can't even control himself. He's out there yelling about it right now. That is what I call phenomenal fishing. You think that's good, Danny? Jesse? Everybody out there? You think that's good? Condor, 130 yellowfin tuna, 160 Dorado, 2 yellowtail, 9 bluefin tuna. Whoa! Does it get any better, Danny?
No.
Man, I'm telling you, this is looking good. And it's the kind of fall bite that we suspected might happen. Now we have that El Nino influence. Water's starting to clean up. And, you know, it's been kind of mucked up here lately, especially out on the banks, Tanner, Cortez. And I think that has had an adverse effect on the bite. And also that big, gnarly full moon. It was a blue moon, as a matter of fact. And that full moon seemed to have an adverse effect on the bite. But we've moved far away from that now, far enough away from that. And it's really looking like things are going to go. Thunderbird, Davies Locker, Newport Beach. They have about 100 mixed fish right now. Yellowfin, Dorado, bluefin tuna. The aggressor fishing out of Newport Landing. 55 Dorado, 10 bluefin, 10 yellowfin. I talked to private boaters today who rolled up. I don't know if I should. Well, everybody seems to know. Rolled up on the 14-mile bank, corroded with boats. This guy told me, heck, I just pointed my bow in another direction, found a kelp, limited out on Dorado. There is bluefin, there is yellowfin, there is Dorado. Guys are finding them everywhere. If you're on a boat headed to Catalina Island, like the Pursuit here out of 22nd Street Landing, I would be prepared to catch a bluefin, to catch a yellowfin, to catch a Dorado. And sometimes those Daiwa Sakana lures, shiny, small jig, 100, 150 grams, are really, really gonna do you well. Throw those on 50-pound and you can really get it done. Jeremy, good evening. Did some freshwater fishing today, but came up empty. Your audio keeps going out. Let me look here. No, my light's on. It must be a Wi-Fi thing. Sorry about that. Everybody's saying that. I don't know what to tell you guys. We'll work on that before Danny's show. He's way more important than me. Anyway, 540 Slinger, the overnight boats from 22nd Street are killing it on the offshore grounds. They certainly are. Amigo, the Freedoms had really great fishing right here at 22nd Street Landing. They've been doing a number on the fish. 310-832-8304. Cue ball saying that moon was indeed terrible. All right, folks, so if my audio is cutting out a little bit, I might run off and say goodbye to you guys. Really, the reason that I'm here is not only to give you those scores, but also to let you know that Danny's coming up in just a little bit more time. He'll be back here, of course, at 6 p.m. live, and you'll be able to enjoy his show. He's going to do a great job. Jason, hey, Phil, good to see you. Where can I leave? Mexico, clothing and toys. Hey, Jason, right here at the landing is fine. I'm here a lot of the days. If you grab a paper and pencil, I'll give you my phone number right now. You can text me. We can arrange to meet, or you can leave it with Tony also. But we're going to be doing a lot of stuff down there in your name, of course. You guys are the ones who make this all happen around Christmas time this year. So really looking forward to that also. So 657-227-6459, Jason. If you miss me here, you can always drop it off with Tony or any one of the landing folks. They're great here at 22nd Street Landing. They facilitated this whole thing, so it has been absolutely phenomenal. Hal, hey, Phil, looking forward to the show. Me too. Jeremy, your audio has been good, sir. I posted that. All right, good. Looking forward to the show. Audio sounds good. All right. I think that means I got to stay here a little bit longer, Jesse. I was ready to bail out. You guys gave me an excuse to get out of here. Hit that like button one more time. Remember, please, we are on the Independence, and I cannot wait to do that with you. 5 days of gourmet food, a lot of which I will be skipping because, I'm on the carnivore diet. So, I'll be saying, I'll just take the bacons, eggs, you can throw some cheese on that, I'm good. I don't need any potatoes or anything. And sashimi, and I'm sure they'll have a steak or two for me. In fact, there's somebody who said they're going to bring a steak or two on that trip just to hand off to me. So that is fantastic. PNS Horn Jack, looking forward to the show. Audio sounds good. Yeah, sometimes when we first started out, there's a little bit of, I don't know what it is with the Wi-Fi, but hopefully now it's connected. Michael Limon is back playing baseball on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so he is not going to be able to make it here to our live show. Michael Limon has quite a racket going. In case you didn't see the Tackle Box Confession show where he did jumping jacks in the background, and then Chuck Zimmer comes on and says, I'll pay him $1 for every jumping jack he does, and before you know it, Chuck Zimmer from the Redondo Rod and Gun Club was taking a loan out to pay this kid off. So he actually handed me the cash the other day. So Michael, I got a fistful of cash for you for doing those jumping jacks. Keep doing well in baseball. Keep doing well in school. And fishing is your bonus, as Grandpa will tell you. Ryder Guerrero, how do I watch the Danny Show? So Ryder, you're watching this show. It just came on live here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. At 6 p.m., right here, same channel, Danny will come on live, and you should be able to click on it and join us. And if you're a subscriber and you have ticked the bell, then you'll be notified when Danny's show starts, and you can just click and go to it. But it'll be right here, same place you're watching this right now, Ryder. You'll be able to check it out, and that should be fantastic. Hey, while we're looking around, our local waters here, like out of San Pedro and some other areas, are starting to warm up again, and that's going to do nothing but good for the local bass fishing. That should start to kick back into gear again. And as I drone on and on and on, and some of you are sick of hearing it, others are welcoming the advice, drop that line test down, and you will catch more bass. You drop down to 12, you are going to get bit more times than not. 15, same thing. You'll get bit. You choose a good hot bait. It makes all the difference in the world. Some people look around on a sport boat and they see some guy catching fish and they're like, why am I not catching fish? And this guy is catching fish. Well, first of all, figure it out. Watch what that guy is doing. So important, your observational skills to figure it out. But I'll tell you what he's doing right now. You're fishing with 40 pound. He's fishing with 12 pound. And he's getting bit every single time because his bait looks so natural. So keep that in mind. That'll really help you out. Glenn Bradley, love what you bring to the fishing world on the West Coast. Totally excitement. Thanks, buddy. Glenn, man, I could not do it without people like you. That means so much to me. Thank you so very, very much. I deeply appreciate it. We'll keep that going. Cue Ball says, Danny is a must-see. And I totally agree, man. It's going to be a great show tonight at 6 o'clock. Jeremy says, I need to give that carnivore diet a try. I could lose 20 pounds and my joints have been killing me. How do I contact for more info on it? Well, it just so happens I've been procrastinating, but there's going to be a new YouTube channel in a couple of days. It's called Walk with Phil, and I will be covering the carnivore diet on there. But Jeremy, there's a guy by the name of Dr. Sean Baker. Find him on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts. Sean Baker, I think it's Shawn Baker. He's an MD. He's a carnivore guy. I think he's been doing it for 12 years. He has really a plethora of videos you can watch and get the latest on that. I've been on it now for about 6 weeks. My joint pains are gone. I haven't had a cramp since I started. I have never slept this good. In fact, there were nights where I would take these over-the-counter sleeping pills because basically I'd be looking at the clock going, I seriously have 4 hours to sleep tonight, and I need to get to sleep right now. And so I take these things, and it's just a bad habit. It just can't be good for you, guaranteed. And I have completely gone away from it. I no longer do energy drinks. I stopped that, and my energy levels and my sleep at night and my cognitive functioning you're not going to believe this, but it's better, okay? No jokes. Everything just seems to be better, so there you go. Arnie's Sport Fishing Channel. Greeting, friends. Hope you are well. At 6, we go on the air. I am going to send you greetings from my podcast. Arnie has a new podcast. He's down in Mexico. I think he probably does it in Spanish, but his English is very good. He runs a panga down there in Ensenada, Baja California. And Arnie is a stupendous guy. Man, I'll tell you, you would be really you couldn't pick a better guy to go fishing with. He's awesome, and his podcast is awesome. And we'll be saying hello. Danny will be saying hello to Arnie tonight also. Arnie, love you. Bendiciones, hermano. Espero verte muy pronto. All right, Kim, Prophet Phil, will we see any more skipjack? We will see a lot of skipjack, Kim. Yes, I think so. Warm water, those purple people eaters will get in here and start chewing it up. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that. In fact, I guarantee it. But I guaranteed albacore too, didn't I? Well, we had a few. And Danny Cadota is the first one to say that when this El Nino year starts to cool down here in the fall, that's when the albies are going to slide down. That's his words, and of course I agree with him. I'm all about that. That sounds pretty good to me. Cue ball, I'm considering it as well. Bad hip. You know, it's different for everybody, I would say, cue ball, but it has been a godsend to me. I don't know how many pounds I've lost, but I can just tell you by notches on the belt, I've lost a lot of inches. Feels so good, and it takes a little while. I mean, you're not going to just go one day and just start eating all meat. So for me, it's been like keto kind of and edging more and more toward meat. I haven't had anything but mostly meat today. So it's a process that you'll get into. And it takes a while, a couple weeks before you start feeling the benefits. And of course, you're going to go through all this, kind of withdrawals from carbohydrates and everything else. But I sincerely think it's a good thing. Consult your doctor, but it's working well for me so far. Greg Sheridan, great to see you, Phil. Are there any predictions on the big eye? Greg, that is a possibility. There's no doubt about it in this warm water. You are very intuitive about that. We've seen years like this when you get the big eye up here, and that would really put a cap on what has already been a spectacular year. Hit that like button, please, everybody. It really is a great possibility. It's hard to say. It wouldn't surprise me. Let me put it that way to you, Greg. All this warm water, all these spectacular catches going down today. The light switch is on. We're off that full moon. Man, it's just looking fantastic. Apollo, we're on board there Thursday night out of C4 Sport Fishing. Are you getting excited? The folks who booked on that, we're going to shoot one heck of a fun video. I will guarantee you that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Scott Bucher. I know it says Greg Bucher, but he's hijacked his dad's telephone and credit card probably. Weather Tackle Shop Confessions. Where is Tackle Shop Confessions tonight? Well, Scott, I have explained this to the audience, but let me explain it one more time. Sam De La Torre, the owner of Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, is in Cedros Island, Scott. Therefore, we cannot do Tackle Box Confessions. And Danny is going to do the Danny Cadota Show. So Danny's filling in, and man, that is going to be a spectacular show. All right, there you go, Scott. Glenn Bradley, Phil, you're looking lean and mean. Keep up the great diet. Helps when you're on a big fish. Man, Glenn, it helps. It just helps everything, doesn't it? Seriously, knee pain and everything else. I forget who I was telling. I think I was telling Danny that when I was really, really big, like 400 pounds, I remember getting on a damn airplane, sitting down, and of course, my frickin' seatbelt doesn't even come close. And I was a younger guy, so, I'm sweating down, and I'm like, God darn, do I even ask? I mean, can I just, I'm trying, I didn't care if I couldn't breathe. I was trying. And finally, I say, excuse me, miss, I need a seatbelt extension. And she, turns around and yells, hey, the guy in 13B needs a seatbelt extension. I could have killed her. But anyway, I got my extension, and life is much easier this way. You are so right. Cue ball, definitely a wild card season. Who knows what's going to show up? Man, I couldn't agree more. It's just crazy. In fact, this morning I was saying that in a normal year, you can kind of get a feel for the trajectory of the bite. You can almost, I set up this Apollo trip thinking a one-day trip. Now, one-day trips back in April don't make any sense, but in September it make a lot of sense. Sometimes the best laid plans of mice and men go astray, but this one actually seems to have worked out, and you can see that trajectory. However, I mean, we've seen the bluefin bite go down the drain, and we've seen yellowfin surge in and then back off, and then we've seen wide open Dorado and that back off. So we just keep seeing and getting these mixed signals. Maybe now it's finally settled down. Maybe Danny is right. When this all starts to cool down, maybe then we're going to see those longfin, those albies that everybody will go crazy about. Danny said, and he's absolutely right, if you think things are crazy now, you wait until those albies show up, and it's gonna be insane. I'll tell you that. Jeremy, I'm excited for this weekend. Love to run into some Dorado. Yeah, Jeremy, the way it's looking, man, I think your chances are pretty good. Private boaters that I've talked to cover a lot more ground. They're a lot quicker. You got to pay really good attention. You got to be glassing or just have your eyeballs open. And it's a numbers game. Don't forget that. The more kelps you find, the more chance you have to score on the flatheads and everything else that may go along with that. All right, so hit that like button if you don't mind. Share this live update with family and friends. We would deeply appreciate it if you could do that. The Danny Cadota Show will be back in what? What time is it? I don't even know. Danny, what time is it?
6.
No, what's, yeah.
5. What, you want me to go on now?
No. I just want to tell everybody you got 1 hour to go.
Yeah.
I know what time your show is. I've been screaming about it for 3 hours there.
Just checking.
Danny Cadota Show in 1 more hour, everybody. Hey, as always, it is a pleasure to be with you. Don't forget, we have the Independence trip, October the 20th, independentsportfishing.com. I'll be back in the morning with the morning briefing. And, of course, anything else goes on here this evening, we'll be breaking the news to you as we aim to keep you in touch with the latest. We aim to have the long-form podcast to keep you informed, teaching you new techniques. And Sam De La Torre will be back next week with information on Cedros, where he is right now. All right, as always, it's a pleasure to be with you all. I'm going to run back there and shut this off, and then Danny Cadota will be here in 1 hour. Hey, thanks for taking time out of your busy day. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you really, really soon.